Okay, so you're having issues with your under eye creasing. Baby, I got you. First things first. When you are at your stage of using your concealer, okay, I've already got my concealer and you can see that it's smoothed out. Before we add any type of powder, before we do any type of setting spray, I have not used setting spray or powder yet, you want to make sure when you blend out your concealer that you are, how do I put this? You don't want it to be too wet, okay? Because then when you add powder, then it causes it to crease. It causes it to look patchy. Like, it's just no fun. So you want to make sure when you're doing your concealer, when you're blending it out, you're blending out, whether you're using light, medium, full, you're blending out to your desire, okay? I'm using Natasha Denona's concealer right now. What is it? High Glam? So before I add any powder, I'm just going to make sure that my under eye is smooth. Yes. Okay, yes. We don't want any of the products collecting in any lines under there, okay? So now that that is smoothed out, I'm going to take my setting powder and I'm using a pressed powder. This is the Charlotte, I love Charlotte Tilbury's pressed powder. So this is her limited edition, like brush powder duo. This is the shade 310. I'm going to take a little brush. I'm going to take a fluffy brush. All right. Like I said, we're making sure this is smooth. Okay. I'm going to take my powder and I'm going to lightly press that in. I crease around my nose as well. Girl, I wear glasses. So I want to make sure I'm pressing some powder wherever I need it. And again, we're smoothing out first before we add that powder on, and we're just going to press it in where we need it. After you do your first powder set, then you are going to do your setting spray. I have all cream products on. I always do cream before I do powder. So and this is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Soft Setting Spray. I'm a dry skin gal. Girl, I love anything that gives me a nice little glow. We're going to fan this and let it dry, and I'll be back. All right, after everything is dry, I go ahead and do the rest of my face with my powder products. So my powder blush, my powder bronzer, yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. For the under eye, we've already done a light pressed powder set. Now we are going to take our loose powder. Today I'm going to be using the About Face in the shade Draped. This shade, great for brightening. Chef's kiss, love this. Now, one of two things. You can either go in with your puff or you can go in with a powder brush. Either one is fine. If you're going in with your puff, all right, you want to take just a little bit. You want to even that out, even that powder out on the back of your hand. And then we are going to lightly press that in. Make sure, I'm gonna make sure I get around my nose because my nose likes to crease there. All right, lightly powder that. If you're going to use a brush, this is, what is this? The Secret Brightening Powder Brush by Laura Mercier. Fabulous brush. With this brush, again, lightly dip into my powder. Again, back of the hand, and we're gonna work that powder into the brush. Then we are going to gently press that in. I'm just making sure I get all the areas that I need. All right. Once that is pressed in, I'm just gonna let it sit for a little bit. While I do that, I am going to do my eyebrows, BRB. Okay, now that my powder has had a little bit of time to set, I'm just going to take my brush that I used earlier. I'm not adding anything to it. We're just lightly pressing in and brushing away any excess. I am a dry skin gal, so I don't like to use too much powder, but it is still important. If you are dry, you can use a little bit of powder, okay? All right, after that, then we're going to do one more pass with some setting spray. This time, I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury. Love this spray. This is like my favorite setting spray. We're gonna go in, lock everything in place. And then we're gonna fan it. Make sure the face is dry. And then the last powder step after you've done your second passing of setting spray is just to make sure everything's locked in. So we're going to take our NARS pressed translucent powder and then just set the entire face. This powder helps to blur, so everything is going to look airbrushed and flawless. And then we'll add a lip.